Hello, garden friends.
Hello.
This is Webster from my therapy garden. We're playing the dirt, have to take away the hurt. This morning we're going live because as we put out, we have some announcement to make. Plus, this is our first live stream for this year, for 2021, and for this growing season. So I just want to thank all the many subscribers who subscribe to this channel. Um, First, let me introduce my family for those who are new. My better half, Roman,
Nice meeting you guys. Thank you.
and of
Welcome,
course,
welcome.
my daughter, Racine.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. So, first, thank you all for subscribing to this channel, for supporting us, and for helping this channel grow. In just 2 years, we're at about 8.5K subscribers and lots of view and all the videos. So I just want to say thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
the support. Okay, and today we're gonna make a big announcement. And but before we do that, I just want to welcome all the people that we have joining us live. Chelsea, hello to you, Chelsea. Mrs. Eyes 512, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as we get more subscribers joining us live, we'll acknowledge them. First, let's just talk about my therapy garden. You know, I thought I started this garden and as a part of my therapy for PTSD. Um, Going through counsel with my psychologist, we're coming up with different strategies in which to help my PTSD from my time in the army. As you know, I'm army retired. And then he suggested gardening, and I started gardening. And when we moved here, just outside of Atlanta, then I started gardening. And it's been a real therapy. It's been helping me tremendously. And of course, I couldn't just keep this to myself. I have to share it with others. So I share my garden with you guys. I share my knowledge with you guys. Everything I learn, I try to pass that on because I know that, you know, you guys have different things going on, and you might need some help with gardeners as other therapy also to get through your everyday
And then we can
situation.
take some idea from them as well.
Yes, and of course, as you know, you have ideas. You give me your ideas. I give you mine, and we'll move forward. For gardening this season, mhm, for gardening this season, the therapy garden been doing pretty good. We lose a few plants, but most of them survive. Thank God. And I always said when you lose a plant, it's an opportunity to plant something else. You know, something that's better, more acclimated to that area, and we always try strive for right plant in the right place. Okay, so if you have any question, if you have any questions, please consider it a huge success with the prairie garden. We try the no dig method in the prairie garden, and we decided to put prairie plants, you know, pretty much wild plants, grasses, natives, you know, something that will take care of itself, you know, like self seeders who will sow the seed and just keep coming back. Yellow cosmos, red. We have some that looking like they're painted because they're bicolored. You know, we have zinnia, sunflower, butterfly weed. We have so many flowers, you know, in the prairie garden. So if
And
you
you
haven't
can
seen
come
that video,
share the flower with us and the seed with us.
yeah. So we buy the seed, but of course, as more plants grow and have their seed, then of course we'll try and share. You know, what I don't have, I can send to you. What, you know, I don't have, you can send to me. So we can be a garden community. Okay, more than just a YouTube channel. I don't just want to be another YouTube channel. I want us to be a garden community, a garden family. Yes. Hmm. Okay. So just want to thank. Okay, we have Chelsea, and Chelsea said, "You took it to the next level, my friend. Have been encouraged by your hard work. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
And you inspired me to get more roses. And I also started my own native plant garden and a small wildlife pond. That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, sorry, that was Mrs. Eyes said we took it to the next level. Even my glasses, I don't see too well, huh? And Chelsea, who inspired you with the to start your rose garden. That's awesome, and that's what I intend. We can inspire to share the video, share the channel on your other social media platform. Invite your friends and family to subscribe. So on. Okay. All right, chocolate. Melanin. Thank you, Chocolate Melanin, for joining us
So we can write
from
it
UK.
then.
Uh-huh. So, sorry, we'll just get all the names here.
No, it's in right. It's in right. I can see.
So we'll just write the names of the people that we have live. So later on, we're going to have a drawing. Exciting times, right? We're going to have a drawing, and we're going to give away Lowe's gift card, and at the end, so for everybody who's live, we'll just write their name, put it in a bucket, and just do a drawing. Okay, so we have a 3 gift card that will be given away. Okay, you know that I love Home Depot, I love Lowe's, I love Walmart, and of course my local nurseries. I shop there. A few of my plants I get it online, but for the most part, Home Depot, Lowe's, and my local nursery. Okay, chocolate melon is oh nice. The first one they normally ask is, did I plan my garden? And the short answer is no. I didn't start it out with a plan that was drawn up, to say I'm going to plant this here, there. I just started planting stuff, to be honest. And I started close around the house. My mother always plants rose when I was growing up in Jamaica. I grew up with my grandparents, maybe even at 8A. And they've been doing good. So I started planting rose, start educating myself on rose. And it survived, so I planted more rose. And my rose garden extended. And when I said I need more roses, I was like, okay, I need to carve out a new flower bed. And so I started on that side, carving out a flower bed. And then as time go on, start knowing about new plants, start knowing about different things. I was like, okay, well, and so that's how I start creating little gardens around the house. In doing my garden, I didn't want my garden to be just like against the fence or against the house. I want my garden to be more like an island so you can walk around it. You can get a 360-degree view of the garden. And so, yes, the garden right around the house is pretty linear because you can't go around it. But for the rest of the garden, I try to make islands. You can walk around it. Therefore, I'm free to experiment, meaning plant wherever, because you don't have to be stationary. You can walk right around the garden island so you can see all the plants. Plants that would survive in my soil. I have heavy clay. So that was the first thing I do. I look for plants that will survive in clay. We know that rose will survive. And I said I had success with the roses. So I keep planting roses. And then I look for other plants, which for the most part, native plants. The bee balm, the butterfly weed, the butterfly bush, the rudbeckia, the coneflower, the echinacea, baptisia, sedums. These are plants that will survive under tough condition. So I got a lot of these plants. And then I try with little favors. Now, you always come up with those exotic plants that you want. So then I try, maples, Japanese maples, different conifers. And yes, I try different plants. Some survive, some don't. My garden is experimental garden.
Freestyle garden.
Very
It's a
freestyle. So I don't adhere to the hard and fast rule. Yes, I know about the rules. And yes, I use it as a guideline, but I don't let the rules limit me.
Mr.
Okay.
R said Freestyle garden.
Mrs. Size, okay. So it's a
Size.
freestyle garden. Okay. Welcome, Urban Girl Gardening.
Say welcome, everybody.
Welcome to Nicole Silvanel. Thank you for joining us. Shelly D, and of course Chelsea S. Who I miss? Oh, Tamar Webb.
You're writing everybody's
You
name.
have it there. We have Tamar Webb. Thank you so much for joining us. Alexandria Denuville. If I mispronounce it, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It's the Jamaican accent that's coming out, okay? Okay, so welcome to you all. Another question was how do I care for roses? Okay, and there's lots of myth. You can press it. There's lots of myth surrounding roses. You know, roses are fussy. You know, you can't grow roses here, you can't grow roses there. But roses have evolved. Yes, you might still have some problem with some of the old roses, and the old roses I think from 1850 back, and new roses are from that time period forward. So you might have some of the problem with those. They might not be disease resistant, and they might only flower once during the season. But roses have evolved. They have hybridized roses to survive a lot of different climate. Roses that will survive in shade and which love shade. So if you have a shady area, please do some research and find those roses that love the shade. Okay, most roses want sunlight and can survive the sun. Okay, so on the western side or the southern side of your house, that's free. Go ahead and plant some roses there. Okay, thank
Welcome,
you.
Sean Wood.
Um,
When is the best time to transplant roses?
okay, when is the best time to transplant roses? Transplant the roses in fall or spring. Once the rose going dormant, that's a good time to transplant the rose. That means, you know, leaves fall off, stop flowering, any flowers left start setting rose hips. Okay, and that's, remember, that's one thing you want to at the end of summer going into fall, you do not prune your rose anymore. You don't deadhead your rose anymore. Let them set hips. Okay, the flower will have a big bulb at the end. It like turn yellow, some will turn red. It's fine. That's why they set the hips. The rose hips will tell the rose to go dormant. That's how the rose know to fall asleep. Once that happens, you can always dig up your rose and put it somewhere else. Or in early spring, you transplant your roses in early spring. Have the next one, sweetie? Okay.
Alexandra, you are right. Almost all of the roses need sun,
Yes.
and
Galore, you got Galore. Says, hey Roman, it's Jordan from work.
Yeah, let's transplant that out.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Thank you for joining
Thank you
us,
for joining
Galore. Jordan. Okay, special shout out there for you. Yes, so that's the thing with roses. They do need sun. Okay, so we transplant them in fall or early spring. And roses, in order for them to bloom, they're heavy feeders. They need a lot of fertilizer. So don't be afraid to fertilize your roses. You can use a granular fertilizer, like we show on the video on how to fertilize a rose, or you can use a liquid fertilizer. The granular fertilizer is usually slow release. That means it will release the nutrient, you know, over time. Where a liquid fertilizer give a quick boost, you know, to the plant. But you have to feed it more often when you use a liquid fertilizer, like every 2 weeks, where a granular fertilizer will about every 4, maybe every 6 weeks would be safe. Okay? And there's no special formula. There's nothing special to use with your rose, which only that you can use. Like I said, last year I used Vigoro and it worked well. But this year I just switched for Rose Tone. Doesn't mean that it's better because I don't know yet. I've never used it, but I'm just experimenting. And as I experiment and I find out things, then I'll share that with you to say, hey, this one is better or that one is better. But just feed your roses granular for that slow release, and liquid for that quick boost. And I would combine both granular, and then 4 weeks after, you give it some liquid food. 2 weeks after, give it some liquid again, and boom, hit it again with your granular, which will take me about 8 weeks in between. Okay?
So chocolate.
Do you grow roses in pots, Alexandra?
Okay, do I grow roses in pots? No, I don't grow roses in pots. All my roses are in the ground.
Yep.
I know people successfully grow roses in pots, which is fine. And roses can grow in pots and they'll survive and thrive in pots, which would be ideal because that way, if you plant a rose in the pot, it got the good soil. You can manage that soil, the fertilizer, and all of that. If it's in too much sun, you can move it. If it's in too much shade, you can move it. So if you're not sure where to put your rose, it's good. Plant it in a pot at first. Excuse me.
Maxine, get the phone, sweetie. You can read the question from the phone. Shanwood asking a question.
Hold on. You can
Listen.
plant the rose in the pot so you can move it around, and when you find the ideal position, then boom, you can put that in the ground. The question from Sean Woods. Go ahead,
The
sweetie.
question is, do you plan to have a section for medicinal plants in the future?
Okay, medicinal plants.
Medicinal.
Yes. I want to put medicinal plants. Right now I have a small patch for my herbs. And we know that most herbs, are medicinal. In my pollinators garden, a lot of the plant there are medicinal, like echinacea, when it's good for cough and cold. Like yarrow, we know that's good for, I think, some heart problem. Let me not, say you can always do your research, but we know that there's some. We know that there's some medicine to a lot of the natives and wildflower that we have. So I try to plant more of those. Bee balm also. And of course, with most of the herbs, apart from cooking, you can use your herbs in tea. For example, rue. I grow rue and I like the rue around my roses and I allow it to flower. It have beautiful yellow flowers. But we also use rue, and I use it personally with my wife. When she make the tea, she put a sprig of the rue in the tea and it give it a nice flavor. We have spearmint, which we also do we put that in our tea. And of course, the spearmint goes well in a mojito, right? You pound that bad boy up, put it in that glass. Hey, a mojito is good to go. So I want to learn more about medicinal plants. And, I try to identify my plants when I talk about them, the medicinal use in it. But I'm not so versed yet. So I won't have a dedicated medicinal garden yet. But as I find more, I try to incorporate it, especially in the wildflower garden, the pollinators garden, or just in my herb garden. Next one, sweetie.
Chocolate say hi from UK.
Okay. Hi from UK, chocolate melanin. Okay, she said, I grow thyme next to my roses. That is good.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
She also said, I recently planted a white rose bush. It's 1 foot tall.
Good. Okay. A white rose bush. You know what the name of that rose, chocolate melanin?
Does the cardboard attract insects?
Okay. All right. Remember
Yeah.
that. Okay. I remember that one. Does the cardboard attract insect? But just ask chocolate melanin about her white rose because it's my wife's favorite. She loves white flowers. So, of
Her
course,
favorite color is
she
white,
loves
so
white
Yeah.
roses. I just planted not a John F. Kennedy, a Pope John Paul II. Just planted a Pope John Paul II on the recommendation of one of my subscribers, and love it, love it. I had a Pope John Paul, I had a JFK first, and love it. Wife love it. I also have a David Austin White Rose, which is a Susan Williams Ellis, also. So it'll be interesting to know what your white rose is. But I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're planting roses because I love roses. They're romantic and they're just a beautiful flower to have. And side note, you know that roses have been around for 35 million years?
oh,
Yes, 35 million years. So in the age of dinosaur, there were roses. So which begs the question, Is your roses a thorn or just a thorny weed that flower? Or is it a flower that have thorns as a defense mechanism? We'll think about that one. Okay.
I forgot the name. I'm at work, so when
All right. Chelsea said maybe I'll try Pope John Paul II or the Susan Williams Ellis. Yes, and those are nice roses. They're hardy roses. Susan Williams Ellis is a David Austin rose. The flowers are about 2 inches, so they're not very big. The flowers aren't very big, but they're fragrant. And it's a pleasant bushy rose, nice and green all year. Doesn't have I don't have any problem with my Susan Williams Ellis rose, like black spot or anything like that. My Pope John Paul II, I planted that this year, and it's been flowering ever since. I have a few black spots on that. But you know, the thing with roses are not going to be perfect because roses will get fungus on their leaves if there's moisture or water at night. So when the temperature drop, it will attract fungus, and that's where you get the black spot. And although you treat your rose nice, it is going to rain. Remember that. It's going to rain. And it's going to rain at night. And we're not going to put an umbrella over our roses, right? So you can't really protect the rose totally from getting black spots. But you know, we'll try. And that's why we try to get disease-resistant roses. And many of the roses today are disease-resistant. A lot of the David Austin roses are. Jackson and Perkins is pushing out a lot of disease-resistant roses. Most of the Cordis roses, the newer Cordis roses, disease-resistant. And a lot of roses are out there now. And if you do your research, a lot of them are also disease-resistant. Okay, we have all the names there, baby?
Yes. You can
Okay.
call everybody names and make sure everybody
So if I miss any
names.
names, let me just go through again. You got a question, sweetie?
Can
What
you
is it?
spell the herb? Can you spell, I think, the herb?
Can you spell the herb you plant around your roses? Okay, that's from Shelly D. I said I plant rue, R-U-E. I have that around the rose. I have dill, D-I-L-L, around the rose. I have sage, culinary sage, that's S-A-G-E. So any culinary sage, look in the vegetable aisle of your Home Depot or Lowe's for culinary sage.
Thyme. You have
Not
thyme.
around the rose. No, I have rosemary. I have some rosemary around the rose. Not a lot, because rosemary tend to get big and bushy. So it's in my vegetable patch that I have. But I have a small one which I keep trimming around my rose. Around the rose, I also have lavender, which is my favorite companion plant, and it's a herb. Lavender, because herbs attract good bugs. Always remember that. Good bugs. They attract good bugs, the pollinators and all that, that will eat the bad bugs that always feed on our roses, like aphids. We want to keep the aphids away. But ladybugs, we want to attract that. Praying mantis, we want to attract those. Bees, wasps, we want to attract those. Okay? Those will eat most of the aphids and other creepy crawlers, chase away those Japanese beetles, which still struggling with Japanese beetle. I'll go out every morning and I pick them off, drop them in soapy water, or just squish them with my hand. And in the evening, I do the same. Okay. So again, we'll just go through. Chelsea S, thank you. Mrs. Eyes, Chocolate Melanin, Shelly D, Philippa Silva, thank you for joining us. Mrs. Eyes, Sean Woods, thank you. Alexandria, thank you so much for joining us. Galore, appreciate you spending time with us. Joycelyn, hi. So glad you could.
She has person in my Mr. Eyes
Yeah.
during a recent heavy rain.
Urban Girl Gardening, Tamar Webb, Nicole Silvanel, thank you so much. I appreciate you all, taking some time out, especially on a Friday, to spend some time with us. Okay. And believe me, Mother Nature is going to win. she's gonna win. So let's not fight her. Let's work with her. And that's why we want to make sure that our plants are suited for climate, our plants are suited for the soil, and our plants are suited for that microclimate. You know, a flower that requires sun will do well in shade in the south, okay? Because it's still hot,
Mm.
right? But up north, you might put where we have a plant that says in the south here is for shade. If you're up north in your zone 5 or even 6, you can put that in full sun and it will survive. So, you have to know the plant, know the plant in condition, and so your plant can survive and thrive.
Time for layer rating, right, everybody?
You got everybody, sweetie?
You have
Okay.
to have a new paper if you need it bigger one, so you don't write in the back. You don't write in the back.
Okay, so we answer. All right, absolutely. In Pennsylvania, Zone 7B, and the heat wave is outrageous. I know all about that. California living, thank you for joining us. Yay, you have a beautiful family. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am Lovely Dove 23. Thank you for joining us also. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
You might have
Mary
said it
Alexander.
before, but can you tell us how much
Speak it up,
time?
sweetie.
You might have said it before, but can you tell us how much time per week you spend in your garden taking care of your beautiful plants?
Okay, from Alexandria, you want to know how much time I spend in the garden taking taking care of the plants.
He's always outside.
I'm always outside.
Always.
I'm always outside. But I would say about 4 days, dedicated days, I spend in the garden. But I walk through the garden every day. There's always a little weed to pull as you walk. You pull a weed. I always walk with my clippers, so I can, deadhead the roses. If I see anything not looking good, I can clip it off here or there. With my Japanese maple, the end of Japanese maple, a lot of time they just get dry for whatever reason, I don't know. And so I clip that off. So I just take my pruners as I walk in the garden.
Watering.
And prune. I like to hand water my plants. Yes, I have a sprinkler system, but it doesn't feel personal. I turn on the sprinkler and I sit inside. I have to spend time with them, right? Get that personal touch.
Talk
right?
to them. He said, "Hi, sweetie.
Get wet with them.
How are you? Good morning."
Get in the water with them.
Okay.
And I was like, when you say hi, sweetie, I thought it's me. It's like,
Right.
nah, this one, this the other sweetie.
The other sweeties, right? They're all my babies. They're all my babies. So I walk out every day and I spend time. I hand water my plants. Unless I have to water the grass, then I turn on the sprinkler mostly for the grass. If I'm going away for a period of time, like I went on vacation last week, then I turn on the sprinkler. And thankfully, I also have it where you can do it remotely because it was really hot. So 2 days on my vacation, I get the phone out and I turn on my sprinkler again, so to water the grass and the rest of the plants. Otherwise, like now I'm home, yes, I hand water because I bond with my plant that way, right? All right, thanks for joining us, Constantia.
Philippa.
And Philippa. Hi, Shelly from Philippa. Constanza and Tamar. Okay. She said, Judy Fick, thank you for joining us. She said, I would like to see another tour of your hill area when you have the time. Okay, we'll do that at the end.
Really interesting.
Okay. Chelsea said, I also like to, I so relate to the hand watering. You need to be, you need to be on the same page. Yes.
Chelsea, did you ever grow borage?
If you ever grow borage? No. I haven't tried that yet. I haven't tried borage yet. I look into it though. Because I always have space in the pollinators garden. I now have 2 pollinators garden. The first pollinators garden, which is the original pollinators garden, which is kind of long. And of course, when I asked you guys what should I do with the other name the other garden and planting the other garden around that sugar maple tree. You guys agree it should be a pollinators garden, so I call that the round pollinators garden. I'll do a tour of the round pollinators garden tomorrow, so you can see what's going on there. We did a short video on Instagram when the lilies were in bloom. And while I have you guys here, please give this video a thumbs up, okay? And of course, always let your friends and families know. You can also follow me on Instagram at my.therapy.garden, where you can see more pictures and short videos on about what's happening in the garden. Do you use Epsom salt? Shelly D asked. Yes, I use Epsom salt. Okay, I use, like I said, my granular fertilizer for this year, which is rose tone, and 6 weeks after that, 4 weeks after my rose tone, I use the fish fertilizer, and every 2 weeks after that, I'll use the fish fertilizer. So I ran out of fish fertilizer, so I have some Epsom salt left over. So I just start using the Epsom salt. So instead of buying more fish fertilizer, I just use Epsom salt as my my liquid fertilizer. That's all I used last year. It's this year that I'm trying the fish fertilizer and the rose tone. Last year I used Vigoro that I bought at Home Depot and Epsom salt. So the Epsom salt work wonders for your roses and also for your vegetables, especially tomatoes.
Chocolate say I grow thyme next to my roses.
Okay, grow thyme next to your roses. Okay, melanin chocolate. That's good. Any of the herbs around your roses is good. It will attract the good bugs that will feed on the bad bugs. Okay, so we need to have that.
Philippa, she said she have 4 roses in the pots because my garden is small and they are doing great.
Okay,
Doing great.
that's good. Okay, that's a testimony from Philippa. She grow roses in pots and they're doing good. Okay, they're doing good. I have, whoa, that's a beautiful bird. See that? Yellow? It's a yellow warbler just went past the back porch here. So beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, guys. So if you have any other questions, we'll answer it. But I would just like to tell you the big announcement for today. Drum roll.
Miss
Sorry.
Isis, she was saying that I have looking on YouTube on how to prune roses. That's how we can find you.
Okay, Mrs. Eyes find me. She was looking on how to prune roses, and that's how she know about the channel. And I'm so glad you did. You know, so glad to have you. So glad to have you. So just continue spreading the word. You know, friends, family. Try to get information. You know, a lot of time on YouTube, the information go like this over your head. You know, we have these professors or these horticulturists, you know, want to impress us with big words and all that, the big fancy names. I try to learn those names, but I also try to get the common names, which everyday people like you and I will use, you know. So, like I said, simple terms in a real garden. We're not talking about Atlanta Botanical Garden. We're not talking about Kew Garden over there in England. We're not talking about David Austin Garden where they have the professors and all the chemicals to use. This is a real person in a real garden in a real situation, trying to survive it, you know, in heavy clay, in heavy clay.
No help, no advertising.
Yes, so Shelley,
you inspired me.
She liked the common names, and I like to use them. But I like to know the big fancy names too. You know, instead of coneflower, we said echinacea, and they want to know what type of echinacea, huh? So
you inspired me, Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea, you inspired me to get more roses, and I also started my own native. Yeah. Okay, good. That's good. And a small wildlife pond. That's great. Wildlife pond. I didn't know so much about a wildlife pond. When I got the fountain, I was thinking of a koi pond, which may or may not necessarily be a wildlife pond. But we got the fountain instead. But
we enjoy it.
We enjoy the fountain, but now I'm like, I should have gotten a wildlife pond so we could have the frogs coming in there, the dragonflies, you know, you could have, you know, lizard, other things visiting. I found a turtle once just walking on top of the hill. I don't know where it came from. But I'm like, if we have the pond, of course, a turtle would just find it. Will just find it. It's amazing how you attract wildlife and where they come from. I hear people talk about their pond, which just suddenly have fishes in them. Where did they come from? I don't know. Maybe just fall from the sky. Right? But
No
yes,
way.
a wildlife pond will attract a lot of wildlife. And the pollinators garden, there's just so much. I've seen dragonfly now just around the pollinators garden. I said, and of course around the fountain. Different bees, wasp, flies, the hummingbirds. The hummingbirds were out this morning. One came in and was getting nectar, and another one came and they started fighting. Because I hear that hummingbirds are very territorial.
I like turtle.
You like turtle. Good. I like turtle too. As long as they don't eat my vegetables. Same thing with rabbits.
If you plant it, they will come.
Yeah. If you plant it, they will come. Okay. So we'll just break.
Okay.
Yes.
RJ said, what can I use for my rose bushes when bugs eat my leaves?
Okay, RJ. What can you do for your rose when bugs are eating their leaves? We have a video on that, which is called How to Take Care of the Rose When Bugs Eat Their Leaves, I think. You can go to that video. However, the short version is you can spray it. You can spray it with a 3-in-1 spray. I like to use a 3-in-1 spray because that does knock out most of what's going to affect the rose. The insects. So you get that from Home Depot or Lowe's, or your local nursery. They carry these also. It will have insecticide for those insects, a fungicide for those fungus. See the bird? Whoa, that's pretty. And of course, a miticide to kill all those mites that you may have. Okay? And a lot of time, what eat your rose are caterpillars and bees. You have what's called the tent caterpillar, which eat the leaves. They live underneath, and they'll make a little cocoon on the rose, the leaves, and roll. Let's see. They make a little cocoon, and they have like just like the name says, a little tent. They use their webs to make, and you can see it on it. Okay, and they go out, they go eat, and they come back, and they lay right there. So you can look on your rose, okay, for any little webbing there with a caterpillar in the tent caterpillar. You can also have what's called cutter bee will also eat the leaves. But a 3-in-1 spray should take care of that. Or you could use Sevin, 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 with a powder. You just douse it on top of the leaves and it will take care of a lot of those. However, because it's a powder, it tends to blow around and you might kill the good insects which you don't want to kill. Okay, so if you're going to use the Sevin, use that like early in the morning and when the wind is not blowing as much, so you don't spread it around. But I like to just spray. It's more direct. Stay on the leaves. You can spray the top and the bottom of the leaves to get your insects off. That's eating the leaves. Okay, Shelley, so you can also use dish soap.
And waterfall is great.
Okay, Michelle Rose Gilman. Thank you so much. We have a river and a waterfall. Okay, to make a mountain there that give me my sound of water. I wish I had a river. But when it rains, I got a river runs in my backyard when it rains. Oh, so thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, Chelsea, I have to leave. Chelsea, please check back.
7B have hard clay and she don't have that hard clay.
You thought you had hard clay right tomorrow? Yes, my clay is hard. It's super hard. Especially if it doesn't rain. If it doesn't rain for like 3 days, oh my God, it's so hard to dig. You know, you're going through pretty much bricks. And of course, when it rains, it's hard to dig because it's very clingy, you know? So it's hard any way around. You want to dig, well, I dig like a day after it rained or maybe 2 days after it rained. After that, it gets real hard. But sometimes you just have to do that.
And the advertising of the t-shirts.
Okay, you give it away. The announcement is that we're gonna start merch as my daughter said, we're going to start merch. Daddy, when are you going to start merch? Daddy, when are you going to start merch? Okay, that's the merchandise. And a lot of the subscribers said they would love to have um, our garden motto on a t-shirt, playing in the dirt, help to take away the hurt. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with our t-shirt. That will be coming in August, the first week of August. We'll have that on stream. So you can order your t-shirt. Of course, you want to pre-order now, that's great. You can pre-order, give me your size and how many you want. The t-shirt will be one as big anymore for us, right?
If you
We
need
need double
extra
XL.
size, we still can make it happen.
Yes, and of course, if you're smaller than a small, you're a petite person, or if you're bigger than a double XL and you need a triple XL, just let us know, and we'll make that special arrangement for you. So we want to start a merchandise of a t-shirt,
Shall we do some?
playing in the dirt, take away the hurt. We're going to have caps, with the same thing, My Therapy Garden, hats. We're going to have hoodies, pullover hoodies. I said the first week of August, that will be on stream.
Pants.
Yes, sweetie?
Maybe pants.
Maybe pants.
Maybe.
Maybe pants. My daughter said maybe
Maybe.
pants. But we'll get into that, and we wanted the channel to grow, so we're looking at stickers, of course, stickers. We'll have stickers, emojis,
Good
and all that,
Yeah.
right? And then so that's in the near future. Merchandise. I said starting next month, we'll have merchandise, t-shirts, caps, and hoodies. Okay, so just let me know if you're interested in that. You can say that right now and a size, and later on you can always order that
Inbox me
online.
your address.
Make sure
Ship it to you.
that you are also following me on Instagram, because that's the best way when you win the prize for me to get in touch with you privately on Instagram. Just inbox me on Instagram and I'll inbox you on Instagram, so we can do that. Okay, thank you, Peter, for joining us. Okay. Oh, Tennille from Australia. Thank you so much. Wow. International blend again. You got that, sweetie? Yeah, we have an international blend. I love my audience. I love you guys, the subscribers. This is a true family and an international blend of family from all countries, all races, and we come in all shades. And I
Amen.
love it. I love it. Okay, so I said, follow me on Instagram, because that's where we can communicate once you win the prize. I also have Twitter, which is My Therapy Gardet. Gardet. Just leave off the N, right?
Yeah.
It's
Gardet
Gardet one.
Mhm.
So you leave off the N and put one. GARDE one.
One.
Okay. So for Twitter, and I'm also on Buy Me a Coffee. So it will be Buy Me a Coffee, and you'll slash My Therapy Gardet. Also, there's no N. GARDE.
No ends.
Okay.
No
So
one.
Buy Me a Coffee slash My Therapy Gardet. Okay. So we're on Instagram, Twitter, Buy Me a Coffee, and of course on YouTube. Okay. Yes, Shelly will trademark it. We'll trademark our saying. We'll trademark our logo when it comes out, to make sure we don't have any copycats. There'll only be one. You should trademark this saying first. I know. Yes, we're working on that. We're working on that, Shelly. We're working on that, and the logo. We're working on that also.
Peter, so garden helping my anxiety too.
Yes,
This is
it's
good to hear.
It's
Yeah.
good to hear. Gardening is indeed a therapy. It's not just a saying.
Right.
It does help. Physically, emotionally, it does help. Just being out in a green space just relaxes you. Studies show that people in the hospital who have flowers in their rooms heal faster than people who don't. Okay? Japanese studies also, the Japanese doctors also prescribe what they call forest bathing in Japan. That as a prescription, they prescribe that you walk in the forest for so many hours or so many minutes per day. Just being out in nature, breathing in fresh air, listening to the birds, maybe the sound of water, just the chirp chirp of crickets. Just listening to nature. That lowers your blood pressure, that gets your heartbeat down, and that just take the stress off so much.
This
Take the
time
stress so much.
generation, they hear a lot of music and put an iPod in the ear. Thus create a lot of stress and anxiety.
And anxiety.
Outside and to hear
Just walking outside. That helps.
Birds
and of course, having a garden, that helps. That
helps a
digging,
lot.
because that's exercise. That bending and exercise.
you burn
It
a lot
works
of
those arms,
calories.
right? Pumping that that bag of dirt. Because that's not light. A bag of dirt is not light. A
Digging
bag
is
of
not
manure is
easy.
not light.
Mhm.
No.
He's
You know,
sweating.
digging.
Sometimes he changes 3 shirts a day.
Sometimes 3-4 days.
He's sweating
I
shirts.
mean, 3-4 shirts per day. If I'm outside, I sweat because it's very humid here in the south. It's very humid. Okay, so that's our big announcement. We're going merch in the short term, and in the long term. Just so you know, long term, we're also looking at membership. In the long term, we're looking at membership. Membership will give you more access to me, where we can meet more one-on-one. We can have FaceTime, pretty much a Zoom call, so to speak. We can talk live, whatever problems you're having with your plants in your garden. We can talk about that. We can share one-on-one things. So, in the long term, we'll have channel membership also. But in the short term, which I'm very excited about, is our merch. Okay, and that is coming in August. Okay, guys. So I thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast. Thank you.
Give me the pen, sweetie.
Okay, now we're gonna get the names and put it in here. Want this?
Mhm.
You want help?
Yes.
Okay,
because
so
this one has to go here.
let's
No. I got. So you see,
There's
have
2
2
names.
names in there. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying.
yeah, so we got
name
this one.
has to be here.
All right, so we'll get the names on here. And we'll put it- Yeah, she only did.
Side row.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? I put a book.
So while
So,
okay,
Put them there.
so while we're getting the names in our little bucket here,
I'm gonna get scissors.
do the drawing. Please, if you have to leave, please check back so we know if you're a winner. And to make sure we have everybody's name. Sweetie, you got all the names? Okay. And we have
While you're
Carla.
here.
we already have cards.
You have
Got
Carla
Carla
Palacios?
already?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been doing good, sweetie. We've been doing good.
Hmm.
You write the names on both sides.
I told her not to. That is all right. Then
Okay.
married the Higa.
Okay. Do that.
This one.
All right. So we
Well,
go
that's.
through everybody.
We can talk about this too. How
about-
you treat them and how you cut them. How you.
Growing orchids. You see this, sweetie? Okay. And but my wife love orchids, so we got some orchids this season, and we're trying to keep them alive. So first, I'm not an expert on orchids. So if you have tips on how to keep the orchids going, please let us know. Please let us know to keep our orchids going. So next year, it will bloom. Okay. But what I know about orchid care right now, we know that orchids bark substance should suffice. Like koi from a coconut, that would be a good medium. You can have bark from like a pine bark or so, could be a good medium also. And you just give that orchid some water once or twice per week. Let it drain, and then you can put it back in its container. However, since these just flower, it's good and well right now for me. And will try to keep these alive. So later on, I'll let you know my progress with this orchid, if we were able to keep them alive, and what we learn from this experiment orchids, and if we'll continue getting more. My neighbor, two doors down, she's an orchid queen.
Okay, right
Her
now,
living room is
perfect.
full of orchids, and I just love it. I just love it. But I'm trying for the first time. So, yes, I try to pick her brain whenever I see her and we talk. I pick her brain on orchids. Tennille said, I have never grown an orchid before. My grandmother's favorite in Australia. I'm nervous to try, but if you can do it, then I will try. Thanks for the vote of
That's a great
confidence,
idea.
Tennille. But yes, orchids, they're a bit difficult. You see them in the store and they're looking good. You take them home and they just drop flower and they never come back. But like I said, this is my first time to have an orchid which I'm trying to keep, and I'll let you know, and then
And then the flowers just die.
we can start an
Mhm.
orchid garden indoors, right? If of course people in Florida can grow their orchids out. My good friend down there in the Keys, Peggy, I know she have lots of orchids which she actually can grow outside. Her sansevieras are outside. So a lot of the stuff that we grow inside, I know she does there. And other good friends that I have in California, Southern California, um, especially what's her name? Uh, oh my goodness.
Who's that?
Other people in Southern California
Mm.
that we have. I know they have lots of the house plant. They can grow it outside,
Hawaiian
and
tea.
also in Arizona. Yeah,
Mm.
the Hawaiian tea, Hawaiian
Wow.
Thai. Also, we grow that indoors. They can grow that outside.
When the flowers die and drip and you cut them um, short, and how the water you use, you take all the um, roots and soak them
They can
for
take this
one
out, soak it in water,
in the water.
let it drain, and then put it back in the container.
Yes.
That's my wife's thing. That's my wife's thing. She will be doing the orchid part, and I'll report it. I'll be the reporter on that one. That's
So
her new passion.
we
So
collect the name. Um,
we have all the names.
Number one pick is how much the price is. It's okay.
We have all the names in there now.
Yes, everybody
Okay.
is in here.
So we have all the names, and we're gonna shake it.
We're gonna share.
Okay, shake. And we're gonna start. Oops. We're gonna start with a third prize. Our third prize will be a $10 gift card from Lowe's. $10 gift card from Lowe's.
Let's see. Let me, Daddy, shake it. You pick one, okay? Give it to Daddy, sweetie.
Okay, so we shake. Okay, put it up. Now pick one so you don't see.
Okay,
Okay.
this one.
So our third place winner.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. This is Ashley's OK Garden.
Ashley's OK Garden. Ashley's OK Garden. Oh,
Ashley's underscore OK underscore garden.
That's my
okay.
daughter, right hand writing.
Yeah, that's Ashley's OK Garden.
Inbox us.
So please, Ashley, let me write that down so I don't forget.
Mhm. Yay, Ashley.
So,
Congrats to Ashley, OK Gardens, third place winner
you're here.
Let me shake it for you, sweetie.
for that $10 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, make sure you follow me on Instagram. That's the quickest way to inbox me so I can get your information. Okay? All right, so that's his third place winner. The next will be a gift card at Lowe's for $15. $15 gift card at Lowe's. Da-da-da-dum. Come on, sweetie.
Okay, where is it?
Okay, you got that one.
Let's see.
Let's see who's our second place winner.
Give me a second. Mrs. Eyes 512.
All right,
Congratulations,
congratulations, Mrs. Size 512. You're the second place winner for a $15 gift card from Lowe's.
Mrs. Eyes.
512.
Okay, congrats to Mrs. Eyes. And let's
The
make
number
sure
one is
the number one for a $25 gift card from Lowe's. $25 gift card from Lowe's. Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Racing.
Okay.
I got this one.
You got that one?
Maria Lisa.
Maria Lisa Motley.
Okay.
Maria Lisa Motley. Congratulations. Oops, this way.
Okay.
Let's steady. There we go. There we go. So Maria Lisa Motley, the third place winner, $25 gift card.
You mean first?
The first.
Oh my goodness. Our grand prize winner, Maria Lisa Motley, the first place winner.
That's the third.
Yeah, of $25 gift card from Lowe's.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for joining us.
Thank you so much
Thank you so much.
for sharing in our good news of going merch.
Don't forget to give us thumbs up.
Please give a thumbs up.
Big
Questions
one.
and comment. Drop a line down below.
And maybe subscribe.
Like get your friends and families to subscribe. You know, if you love this, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't love it too much, give it a small thumbs up. Right? A small thumbs up. Okay, guys. So again, I really appreciate you spending time with us. I really appreciate, being with us, helping this channel to grow. And I just want to say thank you again to everybody that participated in this live broadcast. Congratulations to our grand prize winner, Maria. Second prize winner, Mrs. Eyes. And third prize winner, Ashley. Thank you so much.
And for share and have a great day.
You have a great day.
God bless. We're thrilled you guys supporting us and be with us every single day.
Yeah. So thank you, Mrs. Eyes. Thank you, Chocolate Melanin. Thank you so much, Tennille Simpson, Shelly D, Gwen W. Thank you so much. Philippa, appreciate you.
Mrs. Eyes.
Sean Woods, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sean.
Philippa, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jordan, from work.
Jordan from work. RJ, thank you so much. Carla Palacios, thank you for joining us. Chocolate Melanin from England. I really appreciate you taking the time up. I am Lovely Dove 23. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, Peter Antivirus. Thank you so much. Constanza, I really appreciate you spending time with us. Maria Lisa Motley, our grand prize winner. Anisha Phillips. Alexander. Thank you.
Good job, Lacey. Keep reading the names.
Our grand prize winner. Just so you know, she said her daughter is half Jamaican, half Filipino. That's great.
Great combination.
Great combination. More Jamaicans. Yeah, thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, I'm from Jamaica. My wife is from Ethiopia. Okay, so yes, we have an international blend. Thank you so much. Unapologetic. It's a beautiful family, beautiful yard, knowledgeable gardener. Life's good. Thanks for the creator. Thank you so much. Say again, sweetie. Urban Girl Gardening. Thank you.
I'm trying to call everybody's name. Help us if we forget or
Tamar Webb.
Anybody's name.
Thank you so much.
Tamara.
Judy Fick.
Nicole.
California Living. Nicole.
That's it.
Okay. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You know, you guys waking up, spending time with us. The international blend is there. You know, we have from UK, Australia, Canada. Thank you from different Caribbean islands, the Caribbean, Trinidad. We thank you, and for everybody, thanks for your support.
Thank you.
I'm recording here from the computer, okay, and somebody requests to see the hill garden, so I'm gonna the hill garden,
Okay.
which I'm excited to show too because the hydrangeas.
We just walk around
So-
a little bit and maybe we say bye at the same
So
time.
we'll say bye for here,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go live
On the
after
phone.
here on the phone
Mm.
because I cannot just transfer from the phone to the computer. So if you want to see the hill garden, just log back on and we'll just show the hill garden live. Okay, guys? From my therapy garden to yours, this is Webster. We're playing the dirt.
Helps to take away the hurts.
Mhm.
Bye for now,
Racine.
guys. God bless.
Racine.
Bye
See
bye.
you on
Right,
here.
right.
Hmm?
Kiss for daddy.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, guys. God bless. Bye bye.
See you.
I thought you were going to turn it on.